Alright, so this is actually a game that I've been playing quite a bit in my off-screen time. Basically, whenever there's a video that is being processed or uploading or whatever, and I have some spare time, I'll just literally jump into Monster Train and just do a run. And even if I don't finish the run, it is a huge amount of fun, and I think you might like it as well. Maybe you don't, maybe you do. It's a bit of a card game, roguelike sort of thing, so if you're not into that, then obviously I understand. If you would also like to check out the game, there is a link in the description. I do get a small percentage of the sale as well if you buy it from my Nexus store, so if you want to get a cool game and also support me a little bit more than you already do, of course, then you can do that if you want. Otherwise, let's start a new run and see what's going on with this. So I've been playing quite a bit, as I say. According to Steam, I think I had about an hour before I started playing it again, because I played it a long time ago and it's come a pretty far way. I haven't unlocked the last clan yet. You do have a number of different clans that you can choose from, as you can see right here. This determines what kind of hero you're going to use, because you do have hero cards and stuff like that, and you also have a number of others that you can indeed choose from. And personally, I feel like these guys are super cool. They have they all have different mechanics too, which I very much like. I think they are super fun. Everything's super unique about every single clan. Like, for example, the Hellhorn, they're all about demons, and they're all about... there's a number of different playstyles. You can play with a huge amount of imps, or you can play with really big demons that have massive damage and massive health. The Awoken are kind of like a spellcaster healer sort of deck. I like them quite a bit. They're pretty fun to play with. The Stygians are a little bit weird in the way that they work, because they are more spellcaster than Awoken, but they have a lot of supporting spells. If you can get the artifact that increases your, what shall we say, that synergizes with Stygia units, and it's to do with incant. Incant is a statistic where if you play a spell, it does a certain thing to a unit. So there's that. They're actually really fun to play with as well. One of my favorite runs ever was with me playing with the Awoken and the Stygians at the same time, and playing a huge amount of spell cards and having these guys. And actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do this and see what happens. And this is just going to be a very normal run. It's not going to be anything too dramatic or anything like that. And now here we go. We get to choose our hero. So spikes. Spikes is basically like a damage shield. If your hero gets attacked, then the enemy will take a little bit of damage according to the amount of spikes that are on the card. So as you can see, this has 10 spikes. I'm going to be taking that. It has 30 HP, but it also has 0 attack, which is obviously a bit of an issue. But what we're going to do is I'm going to take Winged Indulgence. This is a random selection of artifacts. Enemies get -1 attack. So sometimes that's actually going to make a pretty significant difference to how much damage you're taking, and sometimes it might even reduce the amount of damage that you take to 0, which is going to be pretty cool. Now, the cool thing as well about Monster Train is that you can literally mouse over all of your opponents that you're going to potentially be facing in the upcoming fight. So you can prepare yourself quite nicely for this, and you can also see a number of statistics here as well. So, for example, this is the boss. Eventually, he will become relentless, and he will go from the very bottom of your train to the top. Your home base is in the top, as I will now show you. So you can see right here, this is your like your home here. If it gets destroyed, then you lose the game, and enemies proceed from the bottom to the middle to the top floor, and then they will enter your home. And you don't want that to happen, so you're going to try and prevent them from doing that by placing units in the little area here. So I'm basically just going to be using region here just to use cards. I'm actually kind of surprised I didn't get any other units at the moment. It's kind of bad. But yeah, we're just going to place someone there. We're going to place someone here. Just heal this. And that is basically all I can do. You only get a limited amount of mana per turn. Obviously, there are going to be cards that will improve the amount of mana that you have to spend. and similarly things like that. So we're just going to be playing these here. It seems like we'll be able to kill that one. We might have some issues. We might have some issues here. I'm not entirely sure how we're going to do this, but I guess we'll see. Yeah, if a cleric gets to the top, then it's really not going to be able to do anything because it has no attack. Enemies, by the way, if you do not have the quick statistic, enemies will always attack first. And there are a number of other, obviously, different things that you'll, you know, be able to see here. Okay, so this guy, for example, this is the boss already. So he's going to attack us, and we are probably going to be absolutely fine. So yeah, when Relentless happens, then a number of attack rounds will go without you being able to use any cards or anything like that, because of course, basically how it goes is, if it goes into Relentless phase, there's attacks until either side loses. Then if one side loses, so for example if your side loses, then it will go on to the next floor, and then the same thing will happen again with you being able to play some cards before the Relentless phase goes through, and then if they defeat your second floor, then they'll go on to the next one, and so on and so on and so on, until either you lose or you win. So that's how that goes. Otherwise, after every single boss, there will be an opportunity for you to be able to take some cards from a clan pack. I'm going to take Glimmer here. Glimmer is pretty decent. And we also have a number of other cards here as well. Not a big fan of any of these, I've got to say. Not a big fan at all. I don't really know what to take. I think I'm going to try and play a Frostbite build, but I don't know whether that is going to work because I don't have an artifact that is really giving me any kind of synergy to that just yet. So I'm going to go over here and try to get some additional spells upgraded. Every single card has 2 upgrade slots, so you can pay some gold to upgrade it, and you can also, if you get lucky later down the line, you can also improve the amount of slots that every single card has by 1, or maybe even 2 if you're even exceedingly lucky. I'm actually not sure about that. And anyway, we're going to improve. This only does 1, doesn't it? I'm not entirely sure. Can I? No, that just does damage. Not a big fan of that. Permafrost, what is that? This card will not be discarded at the end of the turn. Frozen is removed. Oh, that actually might be pretty good. But even so, I'm not really wanting to do any of that, to be honest. So let's see what we can do here. So now this is a card that I actually would like to go with. Incant is a, in my opinion at least, a fantastic spell, or should we say statistic. And we're just going to go for something like this, and then we'll move on. Technically, you can purge some cards from your deck as well, and in some cases that is recommended, because of course then you're going to have a much easier time of getting the cards that you want in your hand when you want them. And now what I'm going to do, now all these guys are gaining Rage. So Rage increases their damage for a certain amount of turns, and they also gain Haste as well. So you can see here, Haste, what that will do is that makes them move directly from the first floor to the third floor, which is up here. So it completely skips the second floor. So if you place units on the second floor, and you're playing a particular deck that is all to do with buffing one unit, then you're going to be out of luck, and it's going to be kind of hard to deal with that. So we're going to be placing units on the third floor, and that usually will have a much greater chance of success, at least in my opinion. So we're just going to be playing this so that our Siren at the back there can gain some decent stats, and we're also going to be playing some other unit just around about there, just in case the imp with the gold sack turns up. He probably will. There he is. Alright, so now, what do we want to do? Well, these guys are going to do 7 damage, so technically what I could do is I could play 2 of these guys right here, and then we could just do 1 Frozen Lance on that one, and then they should kill both of these, hopefully. And all these guys are going to die, because they will not be able to do anything to my hero at the moment. As you can see, they literally all die super easily. There we go. Technically, early on, you don't have too many options in what you can do, because you basically just have a super simple deck, and it doesn't really give you too much. But later down the line, you'll see there can be some crazy stuff that can happen. I'm going to apply Frostbite to this guy. Going to do Glimmer as well so we can get rid of the back unit. This guy has a statistic called Sweep, which means that he attacks all units in that floor for the same amount of damage. So you can see here, he's going to attack for 4 every single time he attacks, which is kind of bad because that means he can kill both of my guys in 2 hits, which is really, really awful. So it would have been nice to kind of get a little bit, maybe a little bit of extra HP. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to try to give them Regen. And that is maybe going to help them to survive more than 1 turn. Yeah, there we go. So that helped them to survive. And as you can see, this guy is now going to die. I could actually just finish him off with this. But you can see Incant is doing so much. I had an artifact in one of my previous runs where we literally had Incant being able to activate twice. So for every spell that I cast on that floor, this Siren, for example, would gain +2/+2, so +2 attack, +2 HP, twice, which is just craziness. And it would have been cool to get that artifact again. I wish I'd actually recorded that run. That would have been, oh, that would have been super cool. But unfortunately, no, I did not do that for some reason. Anyway, let's see here. Okay, I'm going to go for Flash Freeze again, I guess. We don't really have a very good synergy at the moment with our deck. Okay, so there are a number of different places that you can also interact with in the overworld map. So for example, this Hell Vent right here can duplicate any card except your champion. So if we take a look at our cards right here, you can see that we could potentially duplicate Flash Freeze, which would be a 0 cost, which might actually make sense. Or we could duplicate the Siren of the Sea, which would also make sense a little bit. So maybe we'll do that. Let's go and duplicate her, even though she has no upgrades right now, which is kind of unfortunate, because technically what you can do is if you have a completely upgraded unit and you come across a Hell Vent, then you're going to be able to duplicate the upgraded unit. So it's going to be super, super powerful. Anyway, the Bone Shaker, which is what the train is called, stops near the abandoned remains of a train. Looking to have belonged to a merchant, the train still seems to have some wares. A few remaining goods from the clans of the Hellhorned, Awoken, and Umbra are out in the open for the taking, but taking something may cause the abandoned remains to fall to pieces. Which clan's artifact do you take from the collapsing train? Well, I'm going to be taking the Awoken, because this is going to be, yeah, not particularly good, but I will take it. Now, Consume is another statistic, which basically means you can play that card once per battle. And there are some cards that will retrieve consumed cards back into your deck, so you can play them again. But obviously at the moment, I don't have any of those, so yeah. Anyway, special battle effect, enemy units deal 1 damage to the front unit on death. That really does not matter to me one bit. We should be absolutely fine to do whatever we want, so let's just do this. And let's just kill that bomb right there. And then we'll play a little bit of extra things so that we can get some more buffs for my Siren up there. And that's what we're generally going to try to do. We're just going to try and buff her as much as we possibly can. Kill that bomb once again. And we can get another Siren up and running if we want to as well. So it might make sense for us to do that. So let's do something like this, where we get a Siren there as well. Unfortunately, these guys are going to do massive damage because they have Rage when they enter. And I just didn't have enough mana to be able to take care of them all. So, for example, if I do this, that's going to kill 2 of them, which is great. And now this guy, because of our artifact, is only going to deal 1 damage, which is actually pretty fantastic. So I'm quite happy with that. Let's try and buff her up a little bit more. We're going to use another Flash Freeze right there too. And let's try to buff her a little bit more, because Incant is just great. It is a fantastic ability, especially paired, in my opinion at least, with the Awoken, because they have a lot of spells initially, and it really just makes a huge difference. Okay, we're going to play Glimmer once again to get rid of that bomb. This guy's only going to deal 1 damage, so it's really not going to do much. Let's put this guy in the back. There we go. Alright, so there's going to be a number of them coming. Hopefully we'll get Glimmer again. I'm hoping for Glimmer. Yep, there we go. There's Glimmer. We'll play that right there. Okay, these guys should both die. The bomb actually does 10 damage. Wow, that's actually pretty fantastic. Oh, this triggers at the start of this unit's turn. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to play 2 spells just to get rid of these because I don't want my front unit to take 10 damage for free, basically. So we're just going to get that done. Oh yeah, I'm also playing on ultra speed, by the way. So you technically don't need to play on ultra speed if you don't want to, obviously. I'm just doing that because I kind of know what's going on, and hopefully I can explain some stuff to you as well if you don't actually understand anything right now. Gonna kill that. And we're just going to be basically playing a whole bunch of spells just to buff up this Siren right here. And this guy's going to do 7 damage per hit. He doesn't have anything specific, as you can see, and that's the cool thing as well. The quality of life improvements in this game are numerous. And so, as you can tell right here, you can see how much damage this current unit is going to deal to the boss. 138, which is actually fantastic. So the more that we cast spells here, the more that my unit is going to survive and the more that we will be able to win. And as you can see, now that I have played some spells and so on, this guy is now going to get killed as a result of this. So we will win on this turn and we'll gain bonus points. Because what you can do is you can actually play against your friends if you so desire. You can actually play against your friends. You can play against random people as well in a race to the finish. And these are all points that obviously will be counted in those kinds of game modes. Then there's also mods available as well. Not entirely sure about those because I haven't looked at them, but yeah. It's pretty cool in my opinion. Okay, we're going to be taking Channel Song. I don't know whether you read that, but Channel Song is insanely good, at least in my opinion. We won't be taking any of these units, even though they are very cool. We're going to be taking the Light of Seraph. Basically what that does is that gives you an extra space on every single floor so that you can play more units. Because I don't know whether you noticed, but every single unit has a certain space value assigned to them. So for example, my hero, you can see at the top here, has 2 pips, which means that it takes up 2 spaces in a particular floor. And the sirens are the same, as you can see right here. So if we have an additional space, that means I can play both of the sirens on the same floor as my hero. So it's going to be really, really powerful. Alright, so we can remove 2. I'd like to gain another Stygian unit. I don't know whether I really want to do this, though, because gaining another artifact, if it's the incant one, could be really powerful. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to be taking Token of a Traitor right here because playing a spell deals 2 damage to a random enemy unit on that floor. That just makes all the sense in the world considering I'm playing more of an incant deck right now that kind of improves that a little bit. Anyway, after every boss you're able to upgrade your hero as well, and you can also change your hero to do certain other things. So for example, if you just want your spikes value to remain the same, but for it to gain something else, then you can change the way that your hero is upgrading, and as a result you can gain something like this, which would then draw an additional card dependent on how much your hero has been attacked, which is pretty good. But I'm actually going to be taking the spikes thing because I'm not really hurting for card draw at the moment. I am more hurting about mana at this point, so it is making things a little bit interesting. Okay, so now here's the thing. What you can also do is you can enable certain trials whenever you go into a certain combat encounter. So for example, if you're particularly good, which I'm not particularly, but if you are, then you can turn this on and then you'll get a random artifact at the end of the fight. Non-boss enemy units restore all health when they move up a floor. This guy has 75 HP, so if you can't kill him on a particular floor, then you might have some issues. So, shall we try? I think we'll try. Why not? I think we'll try, just for fun, right? Just for fun, and we'll see how it goes. This is going to be very harsh. I think. Alright, so I'm not actually going to be placing anyone on the first or second floors. We're just going to be placing them on the back here. And we're just going to kind of do this. And then we're going to be playing a card right here just to get them all done. Okay. And we're now going to just place a steward over there. And I really wish I had used Channel Song on something else, but I'm going to just use it here. And then this guy is just going to go here. Just for the boss at some point, you know. It's not really a big deal right now. Okay, so let's see. What can I do? Well, we'll play Frostbite right here. And then we'll just do some damage. Alright, so unfortunately he's going to restore himself, but that's fine because he has no attack. Those shield guys have no attack, so they didn't do any damage to my pyre, which is great. So that's all I wanted to know, basically. Otherwise, we're just going to buff ourselves up, continue to buff ourselves up as much as we possibly can. And then we will gain just absolutely insane amounts of power here. This guy's going to get to attack our pyre, unfortunately, quite a bit because he did restore himself. But our incant units are just getting that much more powerful. Every single time I play one of these spells, they are just getting more and more and more powerful. And in the end, they're going to be able to kill these guys with no problems whatsoever. As you can see, we were actually 3 HP off. So that was my bad, because I should have used Frozen Lance there instead of something else. So that would have made a huge difference. But anyway, we're just going to play Glimmer right here. We'll play Frostbite. Maybe we can go through this guy. I actually don't know whether we will be able to. No, doesn't seem like it. So we are going to take a little bit of extra damage to the pyre. Oh yeah, to the pyre. I actually thought we killed that guy, but no such luck. Okay, so here's the boss. So he's going to completely skip the second floor. I should have probably put my stewards on the first floor. Now that I think about it, that probably would have made much more sense. But here's the thing. If I kill this guy right here, like so, then he loses his haste attribute. So he won't be able to go to the third floor immediately. And as a result, I will then be able to, well, have a relatively fun time. Now, I'm actually just going to play some spells here, just randomly, so that I can gain even more damage for my sirens. Now, if I had that incant artifact that I was talking about earlier, that triggers the incant activation twice instead of just once, these guys would have 66 damage right now. Yeah, that's how crazy that is. It's really, really good. Alright, so these guys are going to deal 65 damage before they die. I don't think I can really do anything about that. I guess I could just play this. I'm just going to continue playing some spells up here, I guess. Should be able to kill him with all our sirens in the formation that they're currently in. Yeah, there we go. He was only able to deal 42 damage? Are you serious? That's actually hilarious. Yeah, the more that I give myself regen as well, the better. So yeah, this is actually going to be even less damage than I thought. But yeah, you're going to see just how insane it is to buff up your units by such a dramatic amount. It's so fun. And we also gained Sap Tap. Okay, let's have a look. The first time each turn a friendly unit is healed, draw 1. Well, not exactly what I wanted, but okay. I think that's fine. Engraft is also something pretty good. Gives you a whole bunch of benefits for it, so I guess that's okay. And we're not really getting anything great from the Stygian packs. I have a huge amount of gold as well, by the way, so I'm looking for a shop right now. Yeah, now this is also problematic. There is a merchant here, which I would like to be able to go to. But there's also an artifact over here. I guess I will just go to the random artifacts. Okay, so let's have a look. Sting spells. Okay, so Sting is a wonderful spell. It costs 0, and you can upgrade it in all kinds of different cool ways. But unfortunately, at this point, I don't have any Sting spells, so I won't be able to use those. But I am going to re-roll this particular merchant here because, well, they're basically terrible. Okay, so deal 2 damage whenever an enemy unit moves between floors. That might actually be kind of useful. So I guess I'm going to buy that. All of these are absolutely awful, really. They are kind of bad. Okay, so we're just going to remove one of these train stewards. And Purge card goes up in cost every single time you do that. Unfortunately, it really didn't get anything good from that particular merchant. I'm kind of a bit disappointed by that, to be honest. Probably should have gone the other way. All right, non-boss enemies get multi-strike. Okay, so multi-strike is where they get to attack additional times. So let's have a look at this. Right. Okay, so this might be problematic because these Masters of Light, as you can see right here, they have a sweep ability already. And they have 65 HP. So I'm probably not going to play with this particular trial on right now. I don't think I'm going to be able to deal with it because my deck is not particularly strong. I'll be kind of surprised if I'm even able to make it to the end, to be fair. So, yeah, let me see what I can do here. So we're just going to play the Train Steward round about there. And I'm actually going to only play one Siren. And then we're just going to end the turn, even though I had mana left over. Now, there's a reason why I'm doing that. I would like to try to draw Channel Song again. But for it to activate on one of the Sirens, that would be amazing. But I don't know whether that's going to happen. So we'll see what happens as we go forward here. Maybe I'm going to be able to make it work. If I had multiple instances of Channel Song, then it might work. But as it stands, I don't think so. Yeah, unfortunately, this is not going to work, I don't think. Yeah. Oh, well, never mind. Yeah, we might have some issues here. We might have some issues. Probably should have just played that Siren, right? Yeah, that probably would have made more sense. Okay, let's just heal this guy up so that he doesn't die from this fellow. And we'll do a little bit of damage with Frostbite there. And then we'll just play some other spells while we can and just get some buffs. Oh, yes. Okay, Channel Song. Oh, fantastic. Okay, so we have a 50-50 chance to get the Siren, okay? Yeah, we got it. Look at that. We actually got it. Okay, that's perfect. So now we can place her back there. And now we can go to town. Oh, yeah. Now this is going to be super, super good. Okay, there we go. Unfortunately, still not able to kill them. But it's alright, because it only deals 2 damage to the pyre. I'm not really looking to do a flawless run right here. I basically just wanted to have an excuse to play the game more. Because I wanted to show this to you. And I know I think I have already played the game on the channel, but it was a while ago, and I kind of got back into it, and I just thought, hey, you know what? This is a really, really good game, and I'd like to kind of bring it to your attention anyway, but yeah, otherwise, this is the boss. Let's see what we can do with this boss. Okay, so it's got 11 damage. Okay, so here's the thing. It has stealth. Alright, so stealth basically prevents it from being targeted in combat. So even if my guys wanted to attack, they can't. So I'm not entirely sure how this is going to go, but hopefully it's going to go well. We'll see. We'll see. So I'm just going to continue using Incant right here. Okay, so another 6 turns. Yeah, it seems like it is going to die. Yeah, it is definitely going to die now, so that is great. There we go. Nice. And that's exactly the reason also why Spikes is fantastic, because even if you can't see the opponent, they're still taking damage from your units, which is really good. Alright, so anything good here? No, we're not getting anything particularly good. And I see now the Guardian Stone would actually be quite useful, but again, I don't have the Incant artifact, and this is just not something that is going to be that important unless I find some way to upgrade this thing with another Incant that provides more armor. It's just not going to work, so I'm not going to take that. You can always skip taking cards as well if you want to. Alright, so what else do we have here? We can upgrade units. Do I want to upgrade units? Maybe we want to upgrade one of the Sirens to have something. Or we could upgrade Channel Song to maybe lose the consumption effect. But this has the Concealed Caverns over here. I'm thinking the Concealed Caverns might be quite fun because there's usually something pretty cool available here. Maybe? As you pass a train graveyard, you notice several of your fallen allies. Within the Beasts of Gnarled Steel lie now extinguished pyre shards. Even further inside the rubble, you can make out some last protected treasures. Perhaps if you were to relight the pyre shards using some of your own, the trains would reveal their value. Alright, so we can gain a number of different artifacts here, which is actually pretty cool. Friendly units get plus 10 and Heartless. They cannot be healed? What? Why would you do that? Alright. I'm gonna go for the medium shard. Blood for blood seems pretty cool. When your pyre kills a unit, restore 5 pyre health. That seems really good, actually. So we'll take that. And then we'll move on. That was, I think that was kind of worth it. But let's see if I can upgrade some of my units now. Alright, so multi-strike. That would probably be pretty good to get on one of our sirens. And then we'll re-roll this because I have enough money to be able to do that. Okay, so we can upgrade them with a large stone, or we can give them incant armor, which I think I'm actually going to do. So we're just going to upgrade this one siren with more stuff. And then we're going to be removing some train stewards from the deck. Let's remove another one. There we go. Because I want to have the greatest chance. I could upgrade the other one, but then we won't be able to place it on the same level as the other, and that's going to waste a huge amount of our incant probabilities, or possibilities, shall we say. So, yeah. Anyway, this guy is going to be hard. This guy is going to be very difficult indeed. He has always given me problems in the past, but hopefully not this time. Yes. Okay. Ah, pretty fantastic start right here. Okay. Think I will play all of these. Let's see. Ah, unlucky, unlucky. Alright, alright. Okay, so I was hopeful that I would get the other siren so that it would get buffed, but unfortunately, no. And I didn't have enough mana for that one, but that's okay. Okay, so now, bear in mind, now when this particular siren attacks, she attacks twice every single turn, which is monstrous, absolutely monstrous. So we'll see what happens here. Alright, so yeah, by the way, these things, they can't be killed as far as I'm aware, can they? No, cannot be damaged or targeted in any way. They can't attack or anything like that. They basically just do their thing and then they disappear. That's basically how it works. Alright, so let's just play Glimmer a little bit here just to buff ourselves up a little bit more. And there we go. That guy's going to die now. Let's play Flash Freeze just to give ourselves more incant. And by the way, the other siren behind our hero right here is also gaining armor. So armor is just another way to boost survivability of particular units. So it really makes a huge difference. And otherwise, we're just going to be doing this. And this. I'm hopeful. Yeah, there we go. We will kill both of those. Nice. Yeah, basically, I'm just trying to get this Token of a Traitor artifact to proc on the back line as much as I possibly can. That really makes a huge difference. And otherwise, we'll just play everything like so. There we go. And we now have Engraft, which is actually pretty cool too, because that gives us a card. Also will do quite a bit to give us some extra energy. Yep, this guy actually seems pretty easy now. I think the addition of the multi-strike has really made a huge difference to us overall. I think it really does make all the difference in the world. Alright, let's just continue to do that. There we go. Also, by the way, you can kill the bosses before the final wave. I've done that twice on 2 different bosses in the past. And if you have enough damage, then you can kill them when they are on one of the floors doing their particular action for that turn. So it is possible, but obviously I wasn't able to do that this time because we just don't have this guy staying at a particular floor long enough for that to happen. Okay, so otherwise we're just going to buff ourselves even further, even though I don't need to, because this is game over for him. He will not be able to beat us now. And there you go. Done. Alright, so that is the second last boss. We're going to get a rare card pack, which is actually quite nice, but unfortunately it's just going to be giving us Channel Song, which is a very strong card, but definitely not something that I'm really looking for a super hard mount. Okay, so we can get another artifact. I'm going to try for an incant artifact. When a friendly unit is healed, deal damage to the front enemy unit equal to the amount healed. I mean, that might be pretty cool, so I guess I'll just take that. We've got concealed caverns over here as well, which may provide something nice. Ooh, rail spikes from the Rings of Hell have been driven into a stone near the rail like some sort of monument. At the base lies a hammer carved with ancient runes. You can't make it all out, but what you can talks of the founding of the Covenant. Could this be the birthplace of the rail? But with the Covenant now broken, these spikes serve no purpose here. Many of them are lodged deep into the stone to take. Too deep, even. But the spikes of the Hellhorned, Awoken, and Stygian are loose enough to pry away. Alright, so then we can gain something specific. And I think we are probably going to take the Awoken one. This will spend all of our remaining Ember as well, and then we apply -2 energy to those cards. Might be kind of good, might be kind of useful. So that means it's a little bit situational, I suppose, but it might come in handy. Might come in handy. Alright, so let's try and forge our powers a little bit. Remove Consume. So I'm going to remove Consume on Channel Song right here. And we're also going to reduce its cost. So it's only a 1 cost. And then we can improve something as well. So if we want to do more damage or something, or more healing or something like that, then we can of course do that. I don't know whether we really want to. What about this? Glimmer. Glimmer might actually be kind of good. So restoring 12 health and doing 12 damage. That might be quite fun. Let's try and reduce the other Channel Song's cost to 0 as well. And then that's it. I will just leave ourselves with 100 gold. Now we can also upgrade our champion. Alright, so we have a choice here. Explosive is actually something I've used in the past. It is really cool, because basically what it does is whenever you heal your hero, it deals 20 damage to the front enemy unit, which is actually quite strong. Because you can kill people before they even attack you. So I think I'm actually going to be taking this one. It does have significantly less HP than the other, but I think having that additional offensive capability is probably going to be worth it in this case. At least I think so. Okay, so let's have a look here. These guys have Extinguish, so whenever they die, they do something. And in this case, they do 5 damage to the front unit, which is not exactly nice of them, but yeah, I'm actually wondering what I should do here, to be honest. If they all attack, then they will all die. I don't have... I actually would like to play them all the way up here, I think. Gonna play everyone back here. And then we're just going to heal a little bit. Because these guys are going to die from my rail spike. This one, jackstrips, from the jackstrips, they're all going to die from that. As they traverse from floor to floor. So I don't even need to worry about them, to be honest. So let's just continue to do this. Going to play Channel Song right here. This guy is just going to go wherever, I guess, on the bottom floor here. I don't really mind either way. We can play Glimmer here as well if we want to. I mean, maybe we should do that so that those guys... Oh, they actually deal damage anyway because of the Extinguish. Oh, yeah, forget about that now. Oh, well. There we go. They're dead, but unfortunately they do still do some damage, which is a bit problematic. So that is not great. Oh well. Never mind. Never mind. Now I'm thinking actually, if we can try to prevent... Oh, yeah. We don't have any more units. Great. But anyway, if we can try to prevent the amount of damage that is done to the pyre by 5 or less, then the pyre is basically not going to take any damage, because we do have blood for blood, which means that whenever the pyre kills a unit, it restores 5. So if we only allow units that get there to do 5 or less damage, then I think we have a pretty good shot at things. So let's just continue to heal this unit so we can deal 20 damage extra every single time. Continue to get incants, and you can imagine how it would be if we had the incant artifact. I know I say it multiple times, but it's true, you know. Okay, let's give this region heal, a little bit more damage. This guy's gonna die. Unfortunately, my hero unit is actually taking a lot of damage at this point because of all the extinguishers that are currently going on. So I'm not a big fan of that, but I can't really do much about it. So we're just going to have to continue trying to heal as much as we possibly can. Okay, so the boss is now coming, unfortunately. So I'm not sure whether we're going to do okay here. I have no units available, unfortunately, because my one steward was killed, so that's great. Okay, let's just try to buff them up as much as possible. This guy has 900 HP. Triggers when damaged. Alright, so yeah, we're probably going to have some issues. I'm not going to apply Frostbite to this guy because he's going to take... basically, what Frostbite does is, if a particular unit has Frostbite 8, in this case, then he'll take 8 damage, and then the turn after that he'll take 7, and then 6, and then 5, and then so on, unless you reapply Frostbite with more damage. But I don't want him to take that additional hit, because Revenge, as you can see right here, means that he'll gain additional damage every single time he takes damage. And we want to hit him as hard as we possibly can. So being able to try to restrain ourselves a little bit is probably going to be the way to go. Unfortunately, he's now getting buffed up from from everything else that I'm playing, like Token of a Traitor and so on and so forth. He's already going to die, so I'm actually not going to buff him up any further because he's already dead, I think. Maybe? I'm actually a bit worried about this, to be honest. No, I think we got it. Yeah, I think we got it. Okay, whew. That could have gone pretty badly. That could have gone badly, but thankfully we were able to achieve something there. Okay, I'm going to take another engraft. That seems pretty good. And the Guardian Stone once again. I'm actually going to be taking the Guardian Stone this time because I have an additional space on a floor with the 2 Sirens and my hero. So I'm pretty happy with that. Right. So let's just take a look here. I would like to upgrade the Guardian Stone or the other Siren if at all possible. So, I could duplicate. It's always difficult. It's always difficult. Okay, let's just purge something. I'm going to be purging the last train. Should I purge the last train steward? Yes. And then I'll purge one of these frozen lances, I guess. And then we'll try to equip something to someone. What about the quick? That will mean that this one will attack before enemies, which is actually quite good. Let's re-roll this. Multi-strike. There we go. Multi-strike and quick. Okay, that could be quite strong. Oh, now I don't have enough money for the trinkets. If I see the incant one now, I'm going to kick myself. This is really fantastic, by the way. Units cost basically 0 at this point. 50% chance to swap the front and back units when they enter your train. Spells get an extra... Yeah, so all of these are really, really strong, but unfortunately I don't have enough gold to get them. So I am a bit of an imbecile. This is the final boss of the run, by the way. So here we go. Friendly units enter with SAP 3. Wow, okay. So that basically means that everyone has -6 attack. Initially. And I'm not talking about everyone, but I'm talking about my units, of course. So let's just place these guys over here once again. We're going to be playing this to buff ourselves up as much as we possibly can. And I can't play Flash Freeze anywhere, so I guess I will play it on this unit right here. And maybe on this one. Yeah, that guy unfortunately has the harvest statistic. Harvest basically means that if other units die around him, he gains something specific. So it's kind of problematic. Oh, I should have played this Siren before I played the other thing. My bad. Okay. I'm not going to be playing the Guardian Stone right now. There's a reason for that. I would very much like to use Channel Song to bring the Guardian Stone out and then use the Guardian Stone, because it's going to have much more HP and much more attack in that case. Unfortunately, I don't seem to be able to get it for some reason. Well, that's bad. I don't know what to do here. This is pretty bad. Okay, here we go. Channel Song. Okay, so that's perfect. Let's play that right now. There's the Guardian Stone. So as you can see, there you go. It's completely buffed up. We can get it in the back over there. And now it's going to do 14 damage, which is, I think, pretty good. It has Incant as well, which means that every single time I cast a spell, our units are going to get buffed. And that is all that I really wanted. And as you can see, our Jack Strips at the end there just took out that guy before he was able to do any damage to the pyre, which is fantastic. Alright, so we have 0 units available now, unfortunately. So I won't be able to do anything with that. But let's see what I can do about maybe eliminating some of these guys. Yeah, there we go. Took out that guy at the end there. Ooh, that was fantastic. Okay. So we should be fine, but this guy continues to give us sap, which is really annoying, because sap reduces our damage by such a significant amount that we're not actually dealing that much right now, which is unfortunate to say the least. But thankfully I do have Glimmer, which is dealing massive damage here, so I'm pretty happy with that, at least. There we go, that guy's gonna die. And we're just gonna get more, we're just gonna get stronger, that's the point. We're just gonna get more powerful as time goes on, and that's the reason why I absolutely love the way that Incant plays. And this is exactly what I'm talking about in this game. You can literally do pretty much anything you can come up with. The amount of deck variety in the game is just so significant. It really is. Yeah, now unfortunately he's continuing to debuff us with huge amounts of sap at the moment, which is really annoying. Absolutely annoying. Okay, let's just play this, play that. There we go. And the cool thing about this, by the way, is that you notice that Siren in the back here, right? That Siren in the back has 57 armor because she herself has Incant armor, and the armor stone also is providing a little bit to her every single time. So let's just do some damage here. And we're just going to continue healing our hero as well, because of course it does 20 damage every single time we heal it, which is fantastic. Okay, so let's just kill this guy. There we go. And of course, because we have the other unit as well that also has the quick attribute, she attacks before the enemies, so it makes even more sense. Okay, that guy unfortunately is not going to die. I think he probably will die, maybe? No, he's not going to die, unfortunately. He's going to die from one attack from the pyre at least, so I suppose that's all that really matters. And then we'll just do another one of these. Okay, so this is where it comes. Oh, I think we've won. Yeah, I think we've won. I'd like to try and prevent my yeah, nice. Okay, I'd like to try and prevent my hero from dying. Yeah, there we go. All right, so it is now perfectly fine, and we have won this. There you go. So that's an entire run. Generally, I don't have the time to do an entire run at any one point. And so usually what I'll do is I'll just do like a one boss or 2 bosses if I have the time for that, and then I'll come back to it later and I'll be like, okay, what deck did I make? You know, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. So it is very cool. If you are into any kind of game like this, I'd recommend it highly. It has huge amounts of polish to it. And if you would like to purchase it through my link as well, that would be appreciated. But obviously, you don't have to if you don't want to. But yeah, oh yeah, if you do go through the link, there are Steam keys. It is a Steam key that you'll get. Anyway, every single time you win, your chosen factions will gain experience, and then you'll unlock additional cards for those clans. You'll also get various artifacts as well. So as you can see right here, Petrified Crucible, Spike Steel +1 damage per stack. That is insane. If you go for a spike-based build, you're going to have a huge amount of fun with that. And otherwise, you do have a number of Stygian units cards as well. Now, the Stygian clan in general is not known as being something extremely powerful. And yeah, I guess I guess I can kind of see that. But yeah, this is my current record right here, and as you can see, I don't have the Melting Remnants just yet. The Umbra are really fun. They're basically all about eating units, so you place your hero out the front, and then it eats morsels in the back, and then it gains buffs, dependent on what you have placed on the same floor as it. So it is very fun to play with them. And the Hellhorned, as I've said, they are all about demons and things like that. So it is huge amounts of fun. You can see a wide variety of different artifacts here. You can see I've unlocked 63 out of 95 of them. And then also you have mastery cards. So you do have a number of, well, shall we say mastery card frames. And you do have a number of challenges that you're going to be able to try and complete. And then you will be able to utilize those as much as you want. And then you have personal records here as well. These are your best records for stats achieved during a run and so on. So there's a huge amount of stuff to collect and do. And that's pretty much it for Monster Train. If you want to see more from me and this game, then by all means let me know, because I have a huge amount of fun playing it. But if you don't, then that's absolutely fine. And otherwise, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.